Bildy here. It's a nice evening. I walked down to the creek over on the south side of town. Sure has changed, but creeks do that. They have a tendency to wobble around out of their banks and carve new channels and fill places with mud and sand. Nothing stays the same. Used to come and fish and play here when I was a little kid. The news. I saw some mainstream news today. I'm staying with my old pal. He's a real hospitable boy. He lets me stay with him when I'm here. And he has the TV on. He's okay though. He's a nice guy. They're really getting ridiculous. Somebody pointed out on an internet channel, I don't remember who it was, how the weather map has always got red splotches all over to indicate danger, and it looks really ominous and scary and like some big emergency. It used to be just, you know, like yellow or white, and they had information on it. Now they try to make it look like some sort of, you know, trauma diagram with big red splotches of the danger zones. So they're taking that a step further, because they had a news bulletin about the heat all over the US and Europe, the heat that's just going to kill everybody. Horrible heat wave. And in England it was 100 degrees. Yeah, 100 degrees. Freaking right, in England. You think it's never been 100 degrees there before? But wow, they're acting like it's a huge emergency and people are just falling out. Emergency measures are taken. And the funny thing was, they showed, they said they're taking precautions, and they have to paint the railroad tracks white. They showed people slopping paint on railroad tracks because it gets so hot that they'll expand and buckle. Really? At 100 degrees? They're really stupid. I mean, is this a test for our stupidity, or the people that are feeding this stuff out, the people that are orchestrating this stuff, are actually that stupid and childish? It gets 110, 112, 115 degrees in Siberia in summertime. It gets really freaking hot. I think Alaska it does too in the summer. It gets pretty freaking hot. And then in the winter, minus 40. That's a huge range. They have railroad tracks. They don't have to paint them white. They have railroad tracks in Saudi Arabia. They have railroad tracks in the Kandahar Desert. Well, maybe they don't there, but they have them in Saudi. They have them in Oman and Yemen, I'm sure. They don't have to paint them with white paint. So what is this? They're trying to scare people. The weather's scary. The infrastructure is going to be destroyed because it's 100 degrees. White paint. I know a thing or two about railroad tracks. I've been in the foundries where they make them. I almost got a job at one in Colorado. It's in Pueblo. They make the ribbon rail. I ended up not liking it. Didn't want it, so I didn't start. I opted out. But I got to see the whole process, and I did a little research on it. The tracks are designed to expand when they heat up and down. They're designed, the metallurgy, the way they're made, they expand up and down. They don't expand lengthwise. That's why they can have a ribbon rail. Most of the rail in the U.S. on tracks that they use a lot is ribbon rail. It's all welded together, one piece. And it could go to temperatures 100 degrees all the time. Out west, a lot more than that. They got tracks across the Mojave Desert. Pretty sure they reach 120 in the shade. It's crazy. They want you to think that they have to paint the tracks white to keep them from buckling. Might be a boondoggle. A lot of times that's what it is. Or it just might be fake news, something the media made up. They had some clowns out there and they look like they're wearing hazmat suits and they're out there using white paint on the railroad tracks. And so they made up a story to go with it. Or they had some actors do it. Or somebody in the British government had to appropriate some money. Oh my God, we have to save the railroad tracks. It only cost, you know, a couple of £1,000,000 to have people go paint the tracks. Then they show some film of people doing it. They splash some white paint here and there and put the rest in their pocket. You think that doesn't happen? Main thing is to get the British public on board with it. Oh my, very well, if it must be done. Yeah, that happens a lot. It's insult your intelligence. Let's see, what else did I see on there? There's a bunch of absurdity. Oh, they're keeping up, prepping us for the next pandemic. Yeah, they keep mentioning it. They're getting ready. They're going to be ready. They're going to be ready to take care of us when it kicks off. Highlighting all these people that are going to be on the front lines to lock you down and keep you safe. Yeah, they're getting ready. Blackberry shake. Not bad. Let's scoop this in a little bit. What else we got going? Well, I'll just start commenting. I can't think of anything else. There's another news story, but it's skipped my mind because I didn't make any notes. So, what are we talking about? Intelligence test? Yeah, they're telling Joe Public that the British are having to paint the railroad tracks white to keep them from buckling in this extreme heat of 100 degrees. Like I said, you know, if you got any intelligence, you know there's tracks in 100-degree heat all the time, all over the world. They're designed not to expand. They're not going to buckle. They expand up and down. They don't expand lengthwise. Look it up. Google it. See how they work. Make questions and see what Google says. I don't know. It's not reliable, but they contradict themselves all the time with these crazy things they put out. Are just so stupid. And like I said, they got tracks that go through huge temperature ranges and they don't buckle. They got tracks in Alaska. They got tracks in Siberia. Doesn't stay cold there all the time. It gets pretty hot in the summer, briefly. Is it an intelligence test? I think there's always been stuff like that. A lot of absurdities. It can be regarded as an intelligence test. You still going to buy into it? You still going to buy into the science? You still going to buy into the science of, you know, next time they start telling you crazy stuff, it doesn't make any sense, doesn't add up. It's a big moo cow up there. That's the one that jumped over the moon. That's where he landed. It's a bull. Anyway, there are intelligence tests that seem to be folded into a lot of cultures. You want to play? You want to be part of it? You want to be one of us? Well, you got to believe this. You got to believe that. I think there was a South Park episode about Mormonism that was along those lines. They didn't view that aspect of it though. Anyway,